Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is Wild Rose. This movie is rated R. It's 1 hour and 41 minutes. And the Movie Review Mom grade that I gave it is an A minus. And I'll tell you why. But first, Jessie Buckley appears to be a real star is born, and she's the reason why you want to watch this movie. BAFTA named Jessie Buckley as one of their rising stars this year of 2019. And after you see the movie, you'll understand why. She's really fantastic. The movie is directed by Tom Harper, written by Nicole Taylor, and made of all of the heartache that country songs are made of. And just like a rose, the movie is beautiful, but with some definite thorns. So first, some quick tips from parents. Within the first 4 minutes of the movie, a young woman drops an F-bomb. You see a naked man's rear end. There's a little sex scene on the grass kind of from up above, and people smoke a joint. That's the first 4 minutes. So those are some of the thorns that I was talking about. There's profanity, F-bombs. A young woman gets out of jail, but she just behaves very badly outside of prison as well. Rosalind is her name, and she tells some really nice kids who are dressed in school uniforms that they look like they're something out of The Shining. A kid gets hurt and goes to the hospital. Some kids are neglected. There's a lot of alcohol going on, and in fact, lots of drunk behavior, a lot of self-absorbent, selfish behavior. Some positive themes for the movie are making your dreams come true. And Neil McCall, who plays himself, says, "You've got a voice, so what do you need to say?" And that's not just advice for singers, but for all of us. What is it that we're saying when we choose to use our voice and speak out? I think that's a really good message. And in my movie reviews, not only am I giving you movie reviews, but I try to also encourage communication with your kids as you're watching these movies with them, if you choose to watch them with your kids, and also point out some of the positive themes and great conversation starters that those are with other people, but also really good things that you can reflect on with yourself and how you're doing with your life. What is it that you're contributing to the world to make it a better place? And what are you doing to make yourself a better person every day? Anyway, there are also themes of responsibility, family, and parenting. So some things that I liked is I thought it was really cute when Rosalind was cleaning the house. She's a housekeeper kind of a person for one of her jobs, and this band appears around her to accompany her in her imagination while she's singing. And I thought that that was a cute magical touch. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that. She does sing, she sings to herself and all that before she goes out on stage, but it would have been fun to see more of how she sees her world. I just liked that. I would have liked more of that. Jessie Buckley, by the way, was born in the same county in Ireland where they screened the movie in Ireland. You get to hear some great country music. Rosalind's dream is to get to Nashville. So my husband and I went to Nashville last year for a conference for the first time, and we were really wowed as we walked down that main street, kind of where all the action takes place, or at least where all the tourists go, where you hear fantastic performers every 10, 20 feet that you walk. The whole street is just lined with fun bars and restaurants and performing venues, and all of the performers were just outstanding. The entertainment was really great and it basically free. So I highly recommend a trip to Nashville if you can. It's a really fun place to go. And I posted some pictures of my trip on my Movie Review Mom website so you can take a peek. This character in the movie, Rosalind, lives in Glasgow, Scotland, and I got to go there for the first time just a few years ago, and I was so impressed with that city. The people were just delightful, and although I couldn't always understand everything they said because they had such thick accents, and that's actually one of the negative things of the movie is for American audiences, most of the time you'll be going, "What? What'd you say?" And in fact, there's a cute little scene where she goes to Nashville and she says something, and this guy goes, I don't understand a word that just came out of your mouth. So you kind of have to strain a little bit to understand all of the conversations. But anyway, back to Glasgow. My sister, my nephew, and I actually stayed in a home exchange apartment with a woman with through homeexchange.com. And by the way, I've belonged to that for many years and have saved thousands of dollars on hotel stays because basically you're staying in the home of a local person. Sometimes they're in the home with you, and sometimes they give you the house to themselves. They take off, they're on vacation, and you do an actual exchange. But I actually really enjoy it when the people are home, and because you get to meet them and they take you around. In fact, the lady that we stayed with was a widow, and her husband had been an artist. So this beautiful apartment was just filled with his artwork. And she lived in this beautiful apartment right next to a botanical garden. So she took us on walks every day and took us up around by the university. And it was just really cool because she introduced us to areas that we wouldn't have discovered on our own as just regular tourists. And anyway, it was just really, really fun and a beautiful city. And I would have loved to have stayed there longer to explore more. That's one thing that's also cool about Home Exchange. I guess this is my little plug for Home Exchange is we have made friends all around the world because of meeting these people either in my home or when we stay at their home. And the very first time I went, it was kind of strange because, we had the keys and the house was empty. This was in Panama. And, we walked in and we're like, this feels really weird to be staying in somebody's house. But the beauty is that you get a full kitchen and washer and dryer. And if you have children, there are toys and, a backyard to play in and things that you wouldn't get in a regular a regular hotel. And it's free. Airbnb is great also, but Home Exchange is free. There's an annual fee. I think it's $150, which you would easily stay one night in a hotel or even in an Airbnb. Anyway, I love it. It's awesome. But that was my just little 2 cents about Glasgow, Ireland. I mean, Scotland. I just thought it was really a great place. A couple of things that I didn't like was that, first of all, it was really hard to understand that Scottish accent. It's super charming, just really hard to understand, as I mentioned. And we all love an underdog. And this is certainly an underdog story. And we all want to watch people reach for their dreams and achieve their dreams, but not at the expense of children in particular. And in this place, in this movie, she's quite a selfish single mother. She neglects her children over and over again, and your heart just breaks for these little kids. And the mother, her mother, is played by Academy Award nominee Julie Walters, who's fantastic. And the movie does a great job of watching her go through this process of watching her own daughter make these mistakes over and over again, but affecting her grandchildren. And she swoops in and takes care of them. And then when it looks like her daughter's going to start getting it all together, she gives the kids back. And then, there's another dropped ball and the children suffer. And I don't want to give away the whole story, but I really loved how they showed that aspect of the grandmother or her mother's parenting and then her having to parent her own grandchildren as well. Anyway, I thought that dynamic was really good. And then one of the best lines, if actually not the best line of the movie. And by the way, you can see a bunch of the lines that I write on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. She says, the mother, Julie Walters, says to her daughter, I wanted you to take responsibility. I never meant to take away your hope. And there's a really interesting dynamic and aspect of that story. Now, I'm not going to give the ending away, but I thought it was really good and really powerful. So anyway, that's my review for today. Be sure and subscribe to Movie Review Mom. Ring that bell and you'll be notified automatically whenever I upload a new video. Visit our new Facebook group where you'll get to talk about movies and meet some really cool people who also love movies as much as you and I do. Anyway, that's it for today, for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.